Do you guys feel kind of momentum building here with this winning streak and you guys starting to click?
Yeah, I just think we have a different level of focus and toughness right now that I like to see. I think it started the Northwestern game and kind of, they locked in and coach kind of showed the, where they stormed the court a couple of years on us. And I think after that, we've just been watching, we just watched Nebraska do the same thing. And so, when you see that, you kind of have the chip on your shoulder and you want that kind of revenge going into the next game.
How much did the Auburn game play into this, too, just kind of pissing you guys off?
The Auburn game?
Yeah. If at all.
I think it just showed us that we needed to lock in. We needed to get better. Everybody needed to get better. The Auburn game felt like a game that we weren't really in. And to be honest with you, we just weren't as good as that team at that point. And so you got that team, whatever they're ranked in the country now, number one, top three. Obviously a really good basketball team. That's where you want to be. We know that the best we have is ahead of us. So.
It seems like you're doing a lot of the same things defending the post this year as Nebraska typically does. What's challenging about the way you guys are playing post defense and the way they've always done it?
I think it just makes it difficult on the bigs. Doubling baseline side, it forces the big to be a passer. And if you don't have, schemes and the correct spacing offensively, then you're just really going to struggle. I think that's just the biggest thing. They do a little bit different things. They always hold their low man, so we don't always do that. But I think it's just a stylistic thing. But to me, I would say when I'm playing, that's what I see out there. I see whenever I know teams are going to be doubling baseline, it frees some things up, but then it takes some things away.
Did you watch a lot of film on them or anything this offseason as you guys kind of tweak things a little bit what you were doing?
On Nebraska?
Yeah.
That's more. I think it's more of a coaching question. I'm not sure. They didn't watch film with me specifically about it.
I got you.
But I feel like Nebraska's always done a really good job, even when Zach's here, with post doubles and their post defense. So I'm sure that they did, to be honest with you.
When they send that many guys, do you prefer to have your back to the basket, or do you like to catch it on the move, be a little harder to cage in?
I would say I prefer probably to be in the short roll situation, just because I think it's just easier to pass out of. Everybody's in front of you, and then you have all. I can see completely around me in that situation. It's the same when people are running the zone. I love to be in the middle because I just feel like it's easy. That's what they always say. Whether it's pressing or zoning or trying to get the ball in the middle. So I just think it's easier to pass when they do that. So.
Caleb moves into the starting lineup. Your guys' dynamic and chemistry, it's not a coincidence that you guys are playing your best ball now. Just what does he bring alongside you, both sides of the ball?
Yeah. Well, first thing, he's just a tremendous player. I think he does just so many things that the box sheet doesn't have on there. Whether it be just how athletic and physical he is, whether it be rebounding, guarding. Coach always talks about whereas last year we had Zach, we weren't really able to pressure the ball. And I think you look at teams like Northwestern, when they run such good action, they have their guards coming off lobby screens, stuff like that. It's very difficult to, and so when you have the big guys that are able to pressure the guards, it kind of, or when you have the big guys able to pressure their big guys, it gives our guards a little bit more leeway in what they're doing. So I think he just brings another, aspect of that. He's a big guy, but he moves more like a guard defensively. And then obviously I think, especially when I come off those short rolls, he's that lob threat. But he just does a lot of things that really help us all play.
Is there any kind of baseline to the job you guys are doing taking care of the basketball right now? A lot of your struggles were very opponent specific, but is there anything that's changed with the way you guys are playing offense right now that you're taking care of the basketball as well as you are?
I think we have the ball in Braden's hands a little bit more than we were at the beginning of the year. And obviously, you want the ball in one of your best players' hands, so that's no secret. But I think everybody's just doing their job a little bit more and playing to their strengths. I think that's the biggest thing. And so when you do that and people don't go out of their, start dipping into their weaknesses or things they're not as good at, you're going to get more successful plays.
People like that, Caleb, those things that you were talking about, they feel like they've been ramped up though even just in these last few games. Like there's kind of a palpable feel like when you're watching a game. Are you feeling a different vibe that he's bringing into things over these last, 2-3 weeks?
I guess yes and no. I mean, it's good to see him, be successful. Obviously, he had that, incredible dunk last game, but I think he's always kind of been a guy that's, wanting to help his team in whatever way possible. So I'm just glad that he's, been given the opportunity, to play his role and do great in this position.
Getting to foul